Hi, I'm John. This is my show, An American Scheme, where I'm proving that Diana Ross is Michael Jackson's actual mother. So on this episode, I'm going to talk about love, L.O.V.E, and Michael Jackson talking about his message of love. So I wanted to play this clip really quick from Sexy Thong Lexi, otherwise known as Black Light Hip Hop News with Thong Lexi. So he was saying some stuff really quick. I wanted to play this part really quick.
Whatever. Because Michael Jackson only intended to give love to the world. And that's why listening to stuff like this is very, very hard for me. Because I don't know everything about Michael Jackson's personal life. I don't know. I'm finding out, the more I do this podcast, the more I learn. But I do know he had intention to spread love to anybody who's willing to listen or anybody who's willing to be receptive.
Okay, so when he's talking about Michael Jackson's willingness to spread love to people that are willing to listen and be receptive, I think that's a pretty common understanding that everybody would agree with, is that Michael Jackson did spread the message of love. That was part of his message and a big part of who he was. And so the thing, though, that I would further that now, though, and the thing that I would say is that I've went past that, and I would say, okay, now is that a good message, though, where everybody would just instantly identify as that as being a good message, right? A quality message. And I'll say I went into that, and I did it for years and years, and I went heavily into it and everything. And but as I've come past it now and I've grown older and stuff, I don't believe that's the proper message. I believe the proper message is you have to understand love and hate. You can't ever exclude something. Once you are heavily excluding one thing and relying heavily on one thing, it's going to be off balance. You're not going to have the proper balance that you need. That's the purpose and the reason that we're here, is for that balance and the understanding of these things. And so you can't live in a world of love like that. It has to be a balance. There has to be hate. You have to deal with it, and you have to understand it's part of you, and you have to understand that it's part of you, and you have to understand how to control it, and you understand that love is there and it helps you and stuff. But there is times where you need to have hate. There are times where it's very useful and stuff. Okay, so Michael Jackson was a big part of my life and stuff, but as I got older, as I became about 18, 19 or so, the movie that really set it off for me, this was the one thing that changed my life. I'm going to show you this here. Okay, this is and to say it properly, you should say, this is the Oliver Stone's The Doors. It's Oliver Stone's movie, The Doors, because Oliver Stone is a real artist. And so now Oliver Stone is a big reason now when you get into this kind of quality of art, you're getting into the highest level of art, very sophisticated. The conversations and how they articulate things, Oliver Stone's a master of cinema and filmmaking. He's literally masterful. And so this movie, literally, I was like 18 or so when it came out, but this was the movie that when I saw this movie literally got me to try the drug LSD, or acid is what you would call it, acid or LSD, same thing. Okay, this movie really hyped it up, and the movie was so wonderfully done, and it's speaking about love so much, very high, talking about love. And you would not think that they're talking about love with Jim Morrison and how heavy the drugs, and he seems like a rebel and stuff. But actually, in reality, he's all about love, very deep, about the love message, and very similar thing to what Michael Jackson would be. But it's a different version of it, So Jim Morrison, he was really he was testing the limits and stuff, okay? So let me play you this part here, and when you hear the conversation of how they speak, and this is, when I saw this is like what set everything off for me in my life, that got me thinking on a much higher level, and then like I said, led to me doing LSD and everything, and completely changed my mind, the way I'm able to think about things, and the perception of everything here. Let me just play this for you real quick.
You can feel it in the air. People want to fight or fuck, love or kill. Vietnam is right out there. Sides are being chosen. Everything's been flame, man. The planet is screaming for change, Morrison. We gotta make the myths.
There are the great orgies, man, like when Dionysus arrived in Greece and made all the women mad, leaving their homes and dancing off into the mountains. Should be great golden copulations in the streets of L.A., man.
Call ourselves that nicest, man.
I got it, man. Doors.
Many doors in your mind. Huxley.
Doors of perception. Acid. Well, the quote's from William Blake, actually. When the doors of perception are cleansed, things will appear as they truly are.
Infinite. I like it.
Okay, so that is huge in my life, and this movie and the way that they're talking and what they're talking about there. And then as you actually start getting into it, and you have a really good understanding of what they're actually talking about. Like one of the things, there's Aldous Huxley. He's somebody that as you get into the LSD world and stuff, you start learning about Aldous Huxley, one of the greatest writers, phenomenal. One of the books he wrote was called The Doors of Perception. Okay, and so in that little thing right there, you'll see him say, the doors of perception, acid, okay, because that's what the doors of perception are. And Aldous Huxley is about his experiences with hallucinogenics and stuff like that. Aldous Huxley's a really great man, too, and he was actually died the same day that John F. Kennedy was assassinated. And if you ever watch a video in here about Aldous Huxley's death trip, that's a really interesting one. Aldous Huxley is when you talk about great, wise people in the world, like I like Michael Jackson and stuff, but Aldous Huxley, oh man, and Jim Morrison, these are people that are way higher level for me. Okay, so but what happened was, so when I got into this, the Doors and stuff, and then I started thinking, at that time there was about a year period I used LSD. I probably had done it about 20 times, and during that at least half of those times, what we would do is when the first part, because it's heavy, the drug's really strong in the first part, we would watch movies. When we were first starting to get high and stuff, we watched a lot of movies, and so The Doors was one of them I watched. So when you watch that movie, and it starts off like the first line of the movie, it says, "Is everybody in? Is everybody in? The ceremony's about to begin." That's exactly what happens. It's a ceremonial, it's a true ceremonial experience. Like how people, if you ever heard about the Indians, and you go in the tents and you have get into a peyote trance, and you have this experience and stuff, right? That movie, if you experience that movie under the influence of hallucinogenics, it's like a ceremonial experience on a high level. It's really crazy high level stuff. So The Doors and stuff, I went into the heavy love because The Doors and that stuff, I went heavy. I went as heavy as you could be and deep and searching for years and years and years. And then when I came out on the other end of it, what I found out is what I said is, no, you can't go heavy. It's not proper. What you need is a balance. You need a balance of love and hate, and you have to be in control of them. The whole thing is about being in control. As a human, it's about making the proper decisions and being in control. And that's what you are as a human. And as being as spiritual form, the creature that you are, the whole thing about what you are, it's like you're not here to be, okay, you're going to have to get a job because you're living in society. That's a different thing, okay? Society is something you got to deal with. And in society, you need to have a job. You got to be clean. You got to obey the laws, You got to function in society, basically, unless you want to be a total loser, unless you want to end up in jail or end up dead. And, it's just, there's so many bad things that can happen to you, right, in society. So society is the thing you got to deal with. But what's the actual purpose of what we're here for, right? We're here to learn and experience so then we can evolve and progress. People call it going to heaven, but it's like, I don't believe it would be like that. There's progression. You go to the next stage, but in that stage, it's like, you don't go to a place where all the things are done for you. You got to go to a place where you got to be able to make the proper choices, where you're confronted with good and evil, and then you're able then to make the proper choices. And that's what we're learning here as humans on this earth, and that's why we're confronted with so much evil. And when all the people are saying, oh, we got to get rid of this, oh, that's horrible, it's like, look at, for you to say that, first of all, like what I'm saying with Michael Jackson, when you push it that way, it's wrong. In fact, it actually ends up being evil. That's wrong. If you do that, you're going to counter all of the actual natural things that we're supposed to learn and our natural progression. So when everybody's talking about, we got it to be love, it's got to be good, we got to be good to people. No. That's not the whole purpose of what we're here for. Relax, people. There's very simple fundamental. You're not supposed to kill people and stuff, but you don't want to treat people badly, but the object is, I don't have to be nice to you. Once you're mean to me, I'm not obligated to be nice to you whatsoever. Screw you. That's all there is to it. I give you the first chance. Once you are rude to me or whatsoever, that first shot, that's it. You've lost any credibility or anything that I'll ever have to give you. That's it. Boom. I don't have to treat you nice anymore. I'm not going to kill you. I would never be on that level. That's just stupid. Those are people that say that to me. Obviously, I don't take it seriously. It's stupid, pathetic. They're nothing to me anyways. But you're not supposed to even talk that way. There's certain things about in the way of the world. You're not hurting me. You're hurting yourself. To allow yourself to talk that way, you're allowing your mind to be a certain way. It's going to screw you up. It's not going to ever screw me up. I'm in control of myself. I can handle myself. You're the one, every people that says negative things to me, you are totally only hurting yourself. Because that's not going to do anything to affect my life. Where I've been, what I've seen, my understanding, you guys are nothing. You make one stupid little thing, you think that's going to have any effect to the long life that I've lived and the understanding of the experiences that I've been through? Come on. You guys are nothing. You're weak, pathetic, stupid little nothings. Stop yelling your stupid love like the Michael Jackson. That's what I'm telling you. There's flaws. Michael Jackson's got flaws. And one of his major flaws is this love thing. I'm telling you, it's wrong. That's actually, in turn, it's actually evil. It's actually teaching you and training you to go against your natural progression of the whole intentions of what you're here on earth to do as a human to learn. It's actually evil in its nature. Michael Jackson was not smart enough to learn that. He didn't care about you enough to actually express and learn the proper things to express it to you. But I've went past Michael because of Michael. Michael was one of the major persons in my life that I would reference back into love. When I was deep into love, I would look back. The one person I would look as the pure was Michael. Literally, he was the one. I would look back and I'd say, Michael's the love. I'm going to follow love. I did that. And that's what I'm telling you. It ends up, you come back, it's wrong. It's a wrong message. Yeah, you want to be loved. You want to be loving. But in reality, you're wanting to be dealing with all of the forms that are natural in society that you're naturally dealing with. And that's what you're here to learn. You're here to learn things. You're not here to just follow orders. Okay? So that's it for now. Bye.